Tell us about how big a deal this is. We already have one Colorado Republican representative actually really denouncing Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, for this change.
Right. So I think, like you were just talking about, I mean, this is a really big deal. This is a small industry that's growing at a really rapid rate, as you could see from that stock chart that you just showed. It was $6 billion last year. It's supposed to hit $50 billion by 2026. And so what this could really do is this could freeze the investment that people might otherwise be thinking about putting in the industry. It could cause people who aren't in it yet to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not sure I really want to take on this risk. The Attorney General just said something that reinforced the idea. I mean, this has always been a federally illegal product, but this is just reiterating that that's the case and suggesting that, you know, federal policy may have been lax before on this, and they're not planning on keeping it that way moving forward.
Jenny, does this mean that this could lead to more marijuana prosecutions?
You know, I talked to two senior Justice Department officials earlier about this, and they wouldn't really give much of an answer to that question on the briefing call that they had with media. I would say they reiterated that this is going to be up to the state attorney generals themselves to decide whether or not they wanted to prosecute and bring more cases. I think there is evidence that in some states like California and Colorado, the attorney generals there have already said, we're going to defend this industry even if there's a federal crackdown. So I think we're going to have to wait and see on that one.
So where does this impetus come from, Jenny? I mean, who's driving for this change in policy? Because, as you say, in places like Colorado or California, it seems to be pretty popular. But even nationwide, the popular acceptance of marijuana is up in the 60s.
It is. It's 64%, which is the highest, according to a Gallup poll that they released in October. And that's actually the highest since they started doing the poll in the 60s. So I think, yeah, this is definitely against public opinion based on, you know, those numbers. Jeff Sessions has always been vehemently opposed to marijuana. He compares it to he compares it to heroin and says that he said no good people smoke marijuana. So I think, you know, this isn't so much of a surprise. I think the industry knew that he wasn't a friend, but it is the first time that he's really done something where it officially is taking action that's significantly different than the Obama administration.
Will this affect the number of licensed shops out there in the sense that people could be more reluctant to just get into the business?
I think people could. I think, you know, from a lot of the industry folks that I've talked to so far today, they basically say, you know what, the cat's out of the bag. It's too late. This is a huge growing industry. The momentum is too strong, and we have the support of the states that we live in. So we're going to keep on keeping on. On the other hand, like the people I was speaking about earlier in terms of investors, it could be a little bit more frightening. So I think there's a risk that people will slow down, but I don't think that this is going to completely wipe out this whole multi-billion-dollar industry.